Hello, friends. Welcome to the podcast. This is the JRPG Report, episode 185, and it is a super show. We've got all the happenings from Tokyo Game Show that have popped off so far. I think they're finally winding up the day, so we're going to try to get in this podcast today. We've got a jam-packed show, as not only do we have Tokyo Game Show, but we've got all the happenings from last week's Nintendo Direct that happened. Just a bad time, really, as far as our broadcast schedule goes. Would have loved to have maybe put it on last week's podcast. This one might not be as long. I don't know how long this is going to go, so sit back and relax. We've got a lot to cover. I'm going to try to go more towards some of the newer stuff that's just popped off that you may not have heard about, and then we'll cover the direct happenings, as you may have already heard a little bit about those. The big thing that I want to start off with was actually at the direct, and then we got a little bit more information about it today. So I would say one of the most anticipated games coming up for gamers in our genre. I think it's, now that we've had our Tales of Arise and don't really know when the next heavy hitters are coming up, I have a feeling it's going to be the artist formerly known as Project Triangle Strategy. They've dropped the project. Still ridiculous, but at least they're only calling it Triangle Strategy. And it's coming maybe sooner than you might have thought. It's going to launch worldwide March the 4th of 2022. Publisher Square Enix and Nintendo announced. They showed it off briefly, about a minute at the Direct, all in English, and then it re-popped up today in longer form, about 2.5 minutes for the trailer today. Part of it was, so it was about a minute and a half of new stuff in the trailer that popped at TGS. So here's kind of what's going on with that. This is that blending of the new HD 2D style that they're going forth with. This is maybe one of the first attempts at it. Well, not first time. Actually, Octopath Traveler was definitely that style too. But, we're going to see it in this game. We're going to see it in the remaster of Dragon Quest III. I think this is going to be an exciting kind of new look to it. I'm very excited about this. You guys know me. Can't play the strategy games, but it looks incredible. So this is a story of three nations in their battle for control of dwindling resources of salt and iron. You command a group of warriors as Serenoa, the heir of the House Wolford, in a tangled plot where your decisions make all the difference. Key choices you make will bolster one of three convictions: unity, morality, or liberty, which together make up Serenoa's worldview and influence how the story will unfold. When faced with truly momentous decisions, multiple characters will weigh in, casting their votes on the scales of conviction. You've seen the scales in some of the trailers before. That's kind of where they're going with that. And I think in one of the trailers they said, let's turn to the scales or something to that effect. And it's it's got some weighty decisions. In these moments, the allies and decisions you make will determine the fate of whole nations in the continent of Norzelia itself. Finding the best location in turn-based battles can tip the tide of combat in your favor. Position units on higher ground to take control of the battlefield and gain the advantage with increased range. You can also flank enemies on both sides, then strike from behind with a powerful follow-up attack. Elemental chain reactions are also an important part of combat. For example, use fire to melt icy terrain, then use lightning to electrocute it. Push the enemy into the electrified water to see sparks fly in stunning HD 2D visuals. That's kind of the roundup from the Nintendo Direct. It certainly looks impressive. I kind of view this one as the spiritual successor to Final Fantasy Tactics. It doesn't appear that's at least at the moment, a franchise that they're looking to revive, so they're kind of going in this direction. Instead, like I said, coming out worldwide on March the 4th, exclusively to the Nintendo Switch console, as Nintendo's helping with the publishing on that. I'm just going to keep saying today. It's been going on for multiple days, but at today's TGS presentation, the new Triangle Strategy trailer showed off various characters and more gameplay. Not only did the main cast appear, but it offered a glimpse of the other allies that the players will encounter along the way. This trailer was interesting because the game itself is spoken in English, but like the over narrative voice is in Japanese, so you kind of have an odd thing going on there. The characters shown include House Wolford Armmaster. I'm going to do my best with all these names, okay? Eridor Ballantyne, House Wolford Spy, Anna Pascal, King of Glenbrook Kingguard, Hewitt Buckler, and the Grand Duchy of Aesfrost, Tutor Higala Brenes. Some fancy names. Each ally wields unique abilities, and they were briefly showcased along with their introductions. For instance, Eridor launched a shield bash attack that pushed the enemy several tiles away and even knocked them off of a platform. Anna has the ability to inflict a status ailment. Poison was shown in the trailer when she attacks. Huguet is able to attack from both a distance and at steep angles thanks to her bow and arrow. And finally, Gila is a healer who can heal multiple targets at once. After the trailer's debut, the live stream showed a limited edition version. Looks pretty fancy. It include both a metal replica of the in-game scale seen in the making of important decisions and cards depicting the main cast. However, the English subtitles did note that this particular edition is Japanese release only. Maybe we'll get something here in the West that'll be a little bit different of it. Do I have that? Oh boy, there was a article, so you'll have to bear with me at points in time because I don't even know how many tabs I've got open at this point in time. Okay, here we go. Yeah. There was a list of all the changes that, of course, they put that demo out a while ago, got the feedback, and they've made a bunch of changes. Here is I don't know if we'll go through all this whole list, but here's the main things that they made. List of changes that will appear in this final version on March the 4th. Loading times is the main improvement. Loading times during events have been reduced and are now approximately 10 seconds shorter in the most notable scenes. That's significant. The aim is to further shorten load time by launch. That's a optimization type of deal. That's to be expected, but I'm sure that was one of the main complaints. Events. In the demo, it was necessary to return to the world map after seeing an event. In the final version of the game, you'll be able to view a series of scenario events in succession, reducing the number of times the player is sent to the world map. Very good. Autoplay and skip features have been added. Autoplay can be activated during the event with the ZR button, and events can be skipped with the plus button. There are now conversation logs, and the cursor speed on the world map is now faster. They have added the hard and easy difficulty settings. That's always good. In terms of battle, camera controls have been adjusted. Simulation mode has added, allowing you to check estimated results of actions against enemies outside of attack range. Weapon type icons are now displayed to easily distinguish an enemy's type and weapons. List of other things going on there. Other improvements, several of them have been noted. Button assignments have been adjusted, implemented a battle retry feature. There's a huge list of things that they have gone, and you've got to love when a demo was put out. First, we love that, of course, but this early and kind of using it as a beta platform, taking the feedback and actually implementing it. I feel like sometimes we get so frustrated because we give feedback and then lo and behold, the problems are still present in the final program. But I think this is shaping out to be, I think it's going to be a very big selling title. The strategy RPG market is needing something like this. Great title for the Switch on the go. So we'll see how it does. And again, coming to the Nintendo Switch on March the 4th of 2022 worldwide. Let's knock out a few of the quicker hits so I can close some tabs and get a little bit more going on here. Echoes of Mana, the mobile game featuring all the Mana characters throughout its long history, will launch for iOS and Android worldwide in spring of 2022. Publisher Square Enix and developers WFS announced. There was a new trailer that came out for it. I don't think it looks that bad. Okay. Obviously, it depends on if they're going to charge for this thing or not, how the gacha system is going to work. That's anytime you've got a mobile game, that's kind of the requirements is like, do I just pay for this thing or do I have to put up with the antics of free mobile games? When you see it in action, I don't think it looks terrible. It primarily showcased a lot of the characters from Trials of Mana. But we'll see. No word on that new Mana title. At least it was not ready to be shown in any shape or form that I've seen news on. But yeah, that one's coming out in the spring for a worldwide release. Capcom released the debut trailer and information for Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin version 1.4 update. It should be out as of this recording. Today is October the 1st, so it should have come out yesterday. Update adds the new monsters Molten Tigrex and the Dread King Rathios, as well as new co-op quests and sub-quests. Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin is available now for Switch and PC via Steam. There's an addition of changes. See, if you have a battle buddy, when you select the Start Now, while in the Writer's Hub, your battle buddy and their monster, if they have one, will join you on the quest. Higher difficulties, added additional monsters. There's a timeline of events that's going to go on for additional co-op quests and a litany of bug fixes, of course. Code Vein hit a milestone. Publisher Bandai Namco and developer Bandai Namco Studios announced it hit the 2 million total units sold mark. So it's a nice little ad there. It's only been out a little over a year. Exactly a year, September 27th of 2019. So in 1 year, hit 2 million. That's not too shabby. Sega, they announced that they're working on the Windows 11 version of Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. It's currently in its final stages of testing. Microsoft plans to release Windows 11 on October the 5th, and they're going to be working on it and trying to get it up and running. Of course, get a lot of these PC games are going to be going through the same problems of trying to get us onto the new Windows system, which, I'd actually heard that it was just going to be Windows 10 and just keep on getting updated, and kind of out of the blue. What was it? It kind of debuted at an event. I guess maybe it was on Sunday Night Football or something. That's the first time I saw the commercial for it. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, it's coming out, and that was. I don't know. We'll see. I've always been a Windows as opposed to Mac person, so we'll see how it goes. As long as it's not like 8, we will be fine. This one came out back at the Direct, and that is Rune Factory 5 will launch for the Nintendo Switch on March the 22nd in North America and March the 25th in Europe. Publishers XC Games and Marvelous Europe announced. This came out back on May the 20th in Japan. So, wow, 10 months to get this thing ready for the West. Seems like a long, a long time to have to wait for that one to go. There was a new launch date trailer that came out for it. Here are the key features for the game. Adventure awaits. Saddle a monster mount and head out into the vast, vibrant wilderness to explore tranquil forests, ancient ruins, and even the inside of a volcano. I don't recommend going inside a volcano. That just doesn't work out too often. Gardener Guardian. Choose from 7 weapon types and fight alongside up to 3 companions. Then swap to farm tools to grow a wide variety of crops with monster farm hands. There's never a dull moment. Compete in cooking, crafting, and fishing contests, or invite a sweetheart to join you for stargazing and flower viewing during one of the Rigbarth's many seasonal festivals. And you can find your special someone Date one of 12 eligible marriage candidates. Learn more about them by completing their unique storyline, and then pop the question and start a family. All this and more coming in Rune Factory 5 to the Switch on March the 22nd of 2020 in North America, and then a couple days later, March 25th in Europe. Radeon Japan has announced Mercenaries Rebirth Call of the Wild Lynx for PlayStation 4 and Switch. It will launch on October 14th in Japan for a bargain. It's 2,200 yen. Don't ask me what that converts to, but it's pretty cheap. There was a new trailer for it on this announcement. You can check that out, along with most of everything else that we kind of talk about on the YouTube channel. Not everything in particular. There was one video, and I'll state it when I get there, that just would not let me download in order to upload it. It was kind of weird. Mercenaries Rebirth is a tactical simulation RPG set in a fantasy world. Highly strategic battles unfold on isometric maps with differences in elevation, with battle results and support effects that vary based on character positioning. Skill points earned in battle can be used to learn and upgrade skills, change classes, and more, allowing for a high level of freedom in character development. Here are some of the key features. Rebirth Exceed. You can activate it by consuming the power buildup in your gauge at the top right of the screen as you fight and defend. Each character's Rebirth Exceed has a unique effect, such as dealing major damage to the enemy, or healing all party members no longer able to fight. How to utilize your Rebirth Exceed is the key to victory. Smooth character animations. Well, that's always nice. The pixelated character animations during battle are smoothly animated with parts-based animation. Human characters and monsters alike are animated more vividly than ever before. There are 3D battle maps with 3D model-based battle maps. You can change the camera angle as you please during your turn. You might even uncover hidden items by changing the angle. And a full suite of options. In the options, you can turn the 3D battle maps grid display on or off, or utilize elements handy for grinding, such as simplified skill scenes and accelerated movement scenes. So yeah, that was just announced and coming out in just 2 weeks in Japan. I'll let you guys know when we hear about it. Coming to the West, publisher Bandai Namco, even though Tokyo Game Show is primarily for Japanese, and, obviously goes worldwide, whereas the Direct was directly for English. At least this version of it was for English to speak. Anyway, a new trailer for Shin Megami Tensei 5 came out, introducing the game's English voice cast. You would have thought that might have been more appropriate for the Direct. I've kind of went back and forth. Like I said before, I've not seen that it's going to be dubbed. I kind of assumed it was, but we didn't have confirmation for it. We're getting pretty close. It's, just over a month away. Indeed, it does have English voiceovers for it, and doesn't sound bad at all. I think, I shared it on there, and somebody said they didn't like one of the voices, but there's several voices on there. You can check out our link for all the voices that are included on there and see if you care for it or not. But yeah, good news that it's getting an English dub. I feel like if you don't like the English, you can turn on the Japanese, but it's always good to have that option if you like to. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is due out for Switch on November 11th in Japan, and the next day, November 12th, worldwide. When we get through all these stories, I'll do one final check and see if there's anything that popped up while we were recording. So far, nothing yet, but we got a lot to go through. If you are enjoying all this bevy of information that comes to you each and every week, at least 45 minutes, sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little shorter, I'd love if you would consider financial support for this podcast. We can do that in a multitude of ways. Either you can do it through the Anchor app, links below. You can do it through Patreon. Just search for JRPG Report. You can find different levels of support that way, or directly through PayPal. That's a way. That's fine. James Fisher Productions at gmail.com. The links are all below, and we do greatly appreciate all those who support this podcast and all the videos that we share on YouTube. That's kind of all going in the same pool, so we do appreciate that. Indeed. like I said, I'm trying to get through. Okay, so let's just get this out of the way. So there was a new trailer for Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. I mentioned there was a trailer that I could not download. That was one of them, and it's kind of a shame because it looks better. Okay, I'm still very low on this game. I'm very thinking that this game actually could have been something kind of cool, and instead it looks like some sort of weird beat 'em up. It's almost like they took Square Enix said, "Hey, remember the bouncer that we did, guys? Anybody here at Square Enix? We did that. Hey, let's do that in Final Fantasy 1." That's a great idea. Okay, so anyway, we wouldn't even be talking about this game if it didn't have Final Fantasy in the title. It's coming, so it's going to launch on March the 18th of 2022. Trial version 2 is now available for PS5 and Xbox Series. They took a bunch of advice from the first trial, made some changes. Now this second one is going on. Of course, this is the action RPG from Square Enix and developer Team Ninja. It doesn't say whether it's Japan only for March the 18th, so I'm going to assume that is a worldwide release date for it. So check out. I wish I could check. I did share it at least on our social media channel. So check out the trailer and let me know what you think. I see glimpses of promise in there, and then I see the battle system, and I'm just not that excited about it. It doesn't look terrible. It just doesn't look like anything that I really want to play. It was reported that Princess Sarah was going to have a larger role in this one than, well, she had barely a role in the original. Well, it's been a while since I played Final Fantasy 1, but I don't remember much. Yeah, I'm not going to cover I'm sorry, I'm not going to cover it too much. I'm also not going to cover, where is this? Oh gosh. Okay, so Final Fantasy VII, The First Soldier, it headed on, that Battle Online game. It's due out sometime this year. It still hasn't had a release date. We're looking at a couple months left. It's supposed to be out. There was an online trailer for it. The only thing I will say that's interesting, and that's because of the first screenshot. Maybe I didn't notice this before, but it's got 3 individuals look like they're getting out of a helicopter, and they've got gray shoulder pads on, and they are totally Sephiroth's shoulder pads. So I just thought that was a neat little tie-in, kind of connecting that, and of course, he came afterwards. This game is set, 30 or 40 years before Final Fantasy VII? I believe that's the idea. That's about all I'm going to say about that. This one came out at the Nintendo Direct, and old school players will remember a PS1 game called Chocobo GP. Well, the Switch is getting a new version of it, and it is a total love letter to Final Fantasy mixed with Mario Kart. It looks insane. It looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, but I don't know. It could be absolutely terrible, but I don't know. I just kind of feel like they're going to do it. It's almost like the Kingdom Hearts idea, the original, right? Where they took Final Fantasy characters and put it into a new story. This one feels like that, except they took Final Fantasy stuff and put it into a kart racer where chocobos are running around. So yeah, there you go. I just thought that was a neat tip of the cap. They did reveal, Square Enix revealed the Final Fantasy 35th anniversary logo featuring the Warrior of Light. It's a really cool logo. I like that in small. It says since 1987. This was revealed at TGS. No details about potential events that will appear to celebrate this series anniversary, however, were discussed. So it did. Okay, so this logo did show up on the Origin Strangers. What is it? Whatever that game is called. So it is, Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. It showed up on that. So maybe this will start popping up on different things that are Final Fantasy 1 related. Maybe there's more to come. That would be pretty cool. So I mentioned The Strangers of Paradise, I mentioned First Soldier. As far as I've seen, we've not seen anything of that mobile Final Fantasy game that was kind of a more faithful retelling of the story. That's not popped up in any form that I can see yet. Maybe it'll fall through the cracks and we'll get it next week, but as of right now, I don't have anything to report on as far as that goes. This is the last Final Fantasy bit that I've got, and it's an expensive one. Square Enix will release a Play Arts Kai figure of Aerith in her red dress from Remake. It is nearly as stunning as that scene is in the game. When she pops off in Wall Market wearing the red dress, your jaw drops. Cloud's jaw dropped. And it's coming. So this version, there's two different versions of it. The standard, her kind of standing more straight up, is 155. And then there's a static arts figure that's going to go for 179. These will release in June of 2022. I think they're doing pre-orders for that right now. So if you got some bucks to drop, far be it for me to tell you how to spend your money. It does look incredible. I'm not going to lie, that's for sure. There were a few titles that I thought I was hoping would pop up at Tokyo Game Show. We knew FF16 was not going to. We knew Dragon Quest 12 was not going to. We knew Persona 6 was not going to. One I was really hoping to see, and it's probably my most anticipated game for this year. It's coming out this year, right? This year or next year, whichever one is. One of my most anticipated new games, because it's a complete wild card in my book. I have high hopes for Eiyuden Chronicles. And it showed back up at TGS, but not the way you wanted to. So they showed it, the town building action RPG mobile game, Eiyuden Chronicles Rising. Rabbit and Bear Studios shared a 2-minute gameplay video for it. It's a town-building action RPG set in the same world. It weaves together pre-war tales of various characters who will eventually become your companions in the full Eiyuden Chronicle game. This version of the game will feature a portion of the cast in the original story with thrilling action and engaging town-building elements. There might even be some small perks for players that link the game together. Okay, no, I was wrong. Okay, so this game is coming out in 2022. It's not mobile. This is coming out for all systems. Okay. It looks like a mobile game. When you see it in action, it's kind of a side scroller and it looks pretty basic. So it's coming out on every system, followed by the main game coming out in 2023. So, one of my most anticipated for 2023. Let's just put it out there. This game, I could really care less about. It looks bad. Like I said, I just confused a console game for a mobile game, so that's probably all you need to know about that one. Just give us the game. Like, quit wasting your time with this thing. I don't know. I wanted to be excited about it. Let's just say it was a mobile version, and you could carry over some rewards into the main game. I might be semi-interested in it. But I'm certainly not going to pay money for this thing and then come out. So the Switch version was newly announced for it, in addition to PS5, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC via Steam's and Epic's Game Store in spring 2022. So there you go. If you're looking forward to that one, I'm sorry I'm not. That's just the way it's going to go. In no news, Falcom's CEO, Toshihiro Kondo, expressed his interest in bringing the Legend of Heroes Kuroko Seki to PS5 and Nintendo Switch. He revealed that the game will not have a major title update. The previous entry, Hajimari no Koseki, received the post-release Beyond the Reverie update in October of 2020. The development team will instead be moving directly towards the next title in the Trails series. His quote, "There is nothing tangible I can tell you about the PS5 and Switch versions of Kiro, but I do want to do them in the future. There have been requests for a PS5 version coming from outside Japan." Why would it not come from inside? I don't know. He said, I feel like the Republic arc will not end with just 2 titles. No, it was kind of revealed this was the halfway point. So this is going to go on for a while. No news about it getting a Western release, but players in Japan are enjoying it right now as it released yesterday on September 30th. But yeah, of course there's going to be a PS5 version. I can't believe there's not already a PS5 version. Now Switch, they're going to have to kind of play it down and make it play on that system. But we will wait and see. Blue Reflection Second Light showed up at Tokyo Game Show, and it was announced that there is a demo coming for Japan via the PlayStation Store and Nintendo eShop. It is out. The demo is out right now. The demo will include 2 parts. The prologue part, which you experience the game's systems, and the beginning of the story, and then the story experience part. Enjoy a scene from midway into the story featuring the protagonist Hiyori. Users who clear the prologue part and keep their save data will receive the rabbit head accessory for AO and the preparing for the unknown fragment. So, yeah, there you go. So the demo's out now. The game is coming out on October 21st in Japan, so that's about 3 weeks. Titan. No word on if the demo's coming to the West. However, if we're going to do some quick math, we may get a demo about the time that it releases in Japan. So if there's a demo, that's when I would look for it. Somewhere in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But if there is one coming, of course, you know, I'll let you. I will let you know. There was 2 previews for the game that showed up from our friends over at Siliconia. The preview title says, "Blue Reflection Second Light makes the mundane beautiful." It seems to excel in creating the enjoyable experience focused on building relationships with its cast of characters and in performing day-to-day tasks. There you go. I'm still on the fence about this thing. I don't really know where to go with it. I can tell you this much. I'm not going to play the first one. It is on sale right now on the PSN store. More on that coming later. The first one just doesn't look very good. Maybe if you, before you saw the second game's look, you might have been more convinced to play the first one. I just don't think it looks that great. The second one is a huge bump up in the graphics and presentation department. So it's getting a maybe from me. That's about all I can tell you. The strategy RPG Relayer will launch for PlayStation 5 and 4 on February 17th, 2022 in Japan for 79.80 yen. Publisher and developer Caligula Games announced pre-orders will open up soon they're open up right now. Now, this game was previously supposed to come out worldwide in 2021. There has been a delay, obviously, and is unknown at this time if it will still launch or if it will launch worldwide on the 14th. So far, it's only been announced that February 17th date is for Japan. There was a new 14-minute preview video trailer that came out for it, obviously the Japanese version of it, and there was also mention of a limited edition, which will cost about 2,000 yen more for it. This is all for the Japanese version of it. We'll just have to wait and see if that gets... Of course, it's coming west. It's just a matter of when. This one is one of those space strategy RPGs. Looks pretty cool. I really don't know. It's the first simulation for the PlayStation 5 from the highly acclaimed God Wars development team. In Relayer, each character can be assigned to one of 20 unique job types and over 20 general purpose jobs in the game. Jobs distinguish your characters as individuals and can even give you an advantage in battle. There are over 80 jobs to choose from, and each one is unique. In addition to the main scenario, Relayer contains 80 plus stages, including the side story, the Arceus's Voyage, which is unlocked as the story progresses. Enjoy the episodes that delve into the characters' backstories, solve the mystery of the birth of the moon, a science fiction fan favorite, and experience the world of Relayer to the fullest. So if you enjoyed the God Wars team and you like a good space odyssey and strategy RPGs, this might be something to keep on your radar. And like I said, I will let you guys know as soon as I hear anything about a Western release for this one. We got Pokemon updates, but they were not a part of the Nintendo Direct. Kind of odd, but here you go. There was new trailers for both Pokemon Legends Arceus and the new Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. That's it. So first for Legends, there was new information, footage, and screenshots released, including the game's Arc Phone, Alpha Pokemon, Rideable Pokemon, and the Jubilee Village. Pokemon Legends Arceus brings players to the vast Hisuru region. This is the Sinnoh region that existed in the past, long before the familiar towns and cityscapes of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Rich in nature and with Mount Coronet towering at its heart, this is Sinnoh unlike anything players have experienced before, and they'll embark on a journey to complete the region's first Pokédex. The Arc Phone will be your guide. Early on in the adventures, players will get the device called the Arc Phone. Its distinctive appearance might lead one to suspect its connection to the mythical Pokemon Arceus. This device seems to contain some sort of strange power and will apparently help guide players on their journey. During their expeditions, players may run into Pokemon that are larger than normal and have glowing red eyes. These are known as Alpha Pokemon. They're stronger than their regular counterparts and will be quite aggressive in chasing and attacking players that stray too close. These Pokemon nobles are revered by the people of the regions, but some strange phenomenon is now causing them to suddenly fly into a frenzy. It's part of you to figure out what is going on. You can race across the sprawling, untamed landscapes while riding Pokemon. During the adventures, players will receive a flute. This is a mysterious instrument that's been passed down through generations of the people. Play the flute anywhere to summon special Pokemon that will let you ride them. Riding these animals will allow you to move faster across the lands or bodies of water, or even soar through the skies. There, of course, was a trailer to go along with this thing, so you can check it out in action. Pokemon Legends Arceus is due out for Switch on January 28th, 2022, worldwide. I think this is a good move for the franchise and taking it in a good direction. But if you prefer the old school way of doing it, of course, Pokemon Company and developers ILCA and Game Freak have released new information, footage, and screenshots for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. These are faithful remakes of Diamond and Pearl, bringing back the game's trainers, where they will meet Professor Rowan, battle against Team Galactic, and explore the Grand Underground. Though setting out in snow for the first time, plenty of new encounters and surprises await. The Poketich, is that a misspelling? I don't know. Is a handy gadget players receive on their in-game journey that's loaded up with various apps. This all-purpose tool has apps for all sorts of situations, such as the Dowsing Machine app, which can be used to locate hidden items. You can have fun with Pokemon in the Amity Square and even make some Poffins. Poffins are snacks that can raise Pokemon's conditions, such as coolness or cuteness. There's a new trailer that went out with this one. Of course, you can check those out on our YouTube channel. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are due out for Nintendo Switch on November the 19th. worldwide. The first DLC for Sword Art Online Alicization Lycris is coming. But they did talk about why it was delayed. Following the update for the first major add-on, we talked about the second add-on and free updates. Both are in development. The second major DLC release window is spring 2022. More details are coming soon. But yeah, if you've been looking forward to some updates for it, Alicization Lycris, they are coming. Coming soon, early next year. The Caligula Effect 2 released a new trailer introducing the game's characters from publisher NIS America. Here are some of the main characters. There's a lot. So I'll just go through it. Of course, there is X, who is like Regret and is a virtual doll. There is the protagonist, a second-year student at Tadefusha Economy High School and club president. There is Jin, who is a fellow second year. Shota is another second year. Ryoto is a precarious third-year student who's touted as a boy genius. Kubota, a third year as well, whose character is as shallow as his appearance. Kiriko is a first-year student, short blonde hair. Sasura is a third year, who is as lovely as she is serene and warm. Nico, a first-year student, greets all encounters with a radiant smile and glittering eyes. Marie is the classmate of the protagonist and has it all, beauty, refinement, and a good heart. And then there is Regret, who is a virtual doll whose origins are shrouded in mystery. In fact, her fans perceive her secrecy as part of her mystique. And then, of course, there are the, hopefully I can get this name correctly, the Obligato musicians. There's Machina, Pandora, Mukin, #QP, Dr. Cranky, Hunin, and Bluffman. The Caligula Effect 2 launched back in June in Japan. Is due out on October 19th in North America and October the 22nd in Europe. So you'll head over to our YouTube channel, or if you're watching this video podcast on YouTube, you have been watching it as well. You can see the full thing and check out all these characters coming soon, and not too long, just a couple more weeks on the 19th. So every year there's a couple big sales, in particular on the PSN store, that I like to take advantage of. Golden Week is always a great one, and it seems like now we're getting two big in Japan sales each year. I think they've already had one this year. Maybe it's only 1 year. I don't quite remember, but there is another big in Japan sale going on right now, and it is huge. I can't go through every single one of them, as there are 236 full games in this sale. And that is not all. So if you're like, well, I've already got, I've got the game, I don't really need any more of it. There's a ton of DLC items that are on sale as well. So maybe you're like, it's way too much, I ain't paying that. Well, maybe you might check it out. It ranges from costumes to episodes, everything so big. So I'm going to go through these as quickly as I can and kind of just name some big ones. All the Akaba's Beats and Akaba Strips games are on sale. I'm not going to do prices because there's just too many of them. So every Atelier game that I know of is and available on PlayStation is on sale, at least 25%, some of them up to 50%. So you've got all the way going back to Verona. All the DX versions of them. Yeah, if you don't have an Atelier game now, this is the time to get it. I mean, you've even got stuff like the Atelier Rises Digital Deluxe version, which is normally $72. It's half off, down to under $40. So if you've been waiting and you play digital games, this is a good time to try to pick some stuff up. If you are a glutton for punishment, you can get Ballad of Wonderland. It's half off. Like we talked about Blue Reflection. Second Light's coming. You can pick up the original for $30. There you go. If you want to check out what all the fuss is about, there you go. Code Vein Deluxe Edition is normally $80. It's down to $20. Crystar, I think Jake did a review for that one. Normally $60, it's down to $18. Why not? Why not spend a couple bucks on that? Death End Request 2's down to $20. Demon Gaze 2, $10. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, under $20. Disgaea 4 Complete Plus is $30. And this, I'm just going to the JRPGs. So there's tons of other ones. You've got all the Double Dragons on sale, and Dragon Ball games. Dragon Quest Builders down to $30. Builders 2 is even cheaper at $26. The Heroes games from Dragon Quest are on sale. Dragon Quest 11S Echoes of Exclusive Age digital down to $26. Cannot beat that game. And its price in particular. Fairy Tail. This game, I've been one to add it to the collection, and it is already limited. You're going to pay more than retail for it. So this, in particular, this might be a good game to pick up digital, as it's down to $40. The remake of Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles is $12. If you've been holding off on remake, it's down to $30. Half off on Zodiac Age, Final Fantasy 12, $25. If you've somehow still not picked up 10 and 10 2, it's $12.50. Can't beat that price. I thought 9 was on sale too, down to $10. It didn't show up on this list. I am Setsuna down to $20. Is it wrong to try to pick up Girls in a Dungeon? Down to $22. If you're looking for a fun non-JRPG game, I recommend Katamari Damacy Reroll for $9. Languster 1 and 2 is $25. Legend of Mana down to $22.50. Lost Spheres $20. Mega Dimension Neptunia VIIR, I believe that's how it's supposed to be pronounced, is down to $12. All the Mega Man games. So you can pick up every single Mega Man game, 1 through, was it 9 or 10? 10. 1 through 10, all combined for $16. Psh, awesome. Yeah, the Mega Man X games are on sale as well. Monster Hunter World, $15. I said I wasn't going to do prices, but here I'm doing prices. Neo, The World Ends With You just came out. Already on sale for $42. Neptunia Reverse down to $35. Neptunia Virtual Stars, $32.50. Nier Automata Game of the Yoha Edition, $20. Bones, pick it up. Nier Replicant, already on sale, less than $40. Ni no Kuni 2, I didn't enjoy paying $60 for it. I tell you, if I'd have got it for $9, I'd have been pretty darn happy. That's a really good price, 85%. 85% off. That's a lot of cash. If you don't have Persona 5 Royal, $24. Even the Ultimate Edition, normally $100, down to $40. Strikers is on sale, less than $40. That's a pretty good deal. I'm still going. We're only in the R's. We still got we got more to go. The Romancing Saga games are on sale for around $10. Scarlet Saga Scarlet Grace Ambitions, $12. Scarlet Nexus, PS4 or PS5 version, is $36. Secret of Mana, the not so great remake, down to $20. Let's see, we got a little bit more to go here. Star Ocean and First Departure are $10. Star Ocean 4, $10.50. Great deals on those titles. Super Neptunia RPG, $16. Another game. So I talked about Ni no Kuni 2. Paying $60, get it for $9, be happy. Tales of Zestiria. I didn't enjoy paying $60 for it. If I'd have paid $9, I probably would have liked it a lot more. If you don't have the Legend of Heroes games, if you've been holding off, go pick them up. They're on extreme sale. Cold Steel 1, $20. Cold Steel 2, $20. Cold Steel 3, $30. 4 is going for $40. That's a good deal. Tokyo Xanadu EX, always on extreme sale on these things, down to $12. Even like I said, they've got deluxe versions of these as well. So Cold Steel 3 Deluxe is only $36. You get a ton of outfits with that. Trials of Mana, $25. It's in my backlog. I need to play through it here real soon. Yakuza Like a Dragon, also now in my backlog. I don't have it yet. That's PS4 or PS5 version, down to $36. Yee's Memories of Calcutta, down to $15. And that is the list. Like I said, tons of DLC on sale as well. I understand I'm a physical collector, but when you're physically collecting JRPGs, and like I talked about with Fairy Tail, it's expensive. So sometimes I'm not going to hold it against you if you pick it up on sale digitally. You know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do as a budget gamer. So let's talk about one. Well, I've got one last tab pulled up, and then I'll check. I'll check to see if anything has popped up since then. I'm going to make some people not happy right now, and it's Tales related, but it's maybe not what you think. Tales of Luminaria, the upcoming mobile game. I'm sorry. The more I see of it, the more I like. They released a... How long was this video for it? I don't know. Anyway, the answer trailer. Check it out. Okay? Don't worry about the animation. There is a gameplay snippet that I put on the YouTube channel. Go check it out. You have to play this game vertically, okay? So that puts your controls at the bottom of your phone. Your fingers are not going to be covering up things. It's got a tall view, so it's a little different. I know you want to play it in widescreen. I get it. But when you're playing a game on your phone, your fingers are going to be covering up stuff you can't see. This feels like Tales of the Abyss. And I know it's not like that, but it's kind of got that older feel to it. As I'm playing Tales of Arise, I'm super loving it. Don't get me wrong. But this feels like the Tales games that I grew up on and loved and cherish. Okay? So I think they're doing right on this one. Now, it remains to be seen if this is going to be a gacha game or if I'm going to pay for it. Honestly, I'd rather pay a few dollars for it and just get the game. You've got 21 main characters for this game. They all look to be fleshed out. They all look to be pretty cool. I'm doing a character video pretty much every day. Bandai Namco is sharing these things. Pre-registration is open for it now. I'm going to pre-register for it. I'm going to check it out, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. Is it a great game? Probably not, because it's mobile, but I think it's going to be closer to the Tales experiences that maybe I used to like. Obviously, playing with the phone, it's going to be a little bit different, but I'm looking forward to it. I invite you to give it a chance. Now, if you look at these gameplay videos and you still think it's not for you, that's great. Just ignore it like everything else. But I'm giving this thing a second chance. I wasn't thrilled about it when I first saw it, but the more I see, the more I like. So let's take just a quick 5-second break. And while I'm checking, why don't you go check over to our YouTube channel, subscribe there, give us a like on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. So I checked everything, and there's nothing yet. The day 2 or 3, what day is it of the Tokyo Game Show? Game day 2 has wrapped up. There's still 2 more days technically, so that should give us plenty of stuff to talk about next week as well. In particular, I guess the Sega thing just wrapped up. I don't see anything on it, so I don't know. We'll keep that for next week. I think we've hit the hour mark, so we've had a nice long podcast, a good chat. Indeed. Keep in mind, next week we're back to our Thursday regular podcast. I'll wrap up anything that we didn't talk about this week at Tokyo Game Show, as well as sometimes things pop off afterwards. I kind of doubt it, so it may be kind of a shorter podcast next week. That's just the way that it goes next time. I will be posting stories on our social media channels, asking for mailbag submissions here in the next couple days, as I'll be on vacation the next week, and I'll pre-record a mailbag special for you guys the week after. We'll wrap up anything in those 2 weeks that did not get talked about. If you're not a social media person, as I wish I wasn't sometimes, you can just email me a question directly at jrpgreport@gmail.com. That would be just fine, and we'll talk about it. Talk about then anything you want to talk about, that is fine. Be thinking about questions to submit. We'll have a fun mailbag podcast while I'm gone. That's going to do it for at least part 1 of Tokyo Game Show. Had that Nintendo Direct stuff mixed in there as well, so it was a lot of fun getting to talk about. I kind of feel like this was a little underwhelming. Obviously, there's still stuff to come, but it is what it is, and maybe we'll have some fun stuff to talk about next week. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us on social media channels and consider financial support if you are so inclined. I'll talk to you guys again next week. James Fisher signing off for the JRPG Report. Get back out there and level up.